Hi, Amber Duggar here, founder of Profit for Keeps, and in today's Profit for Joy video, we're going to be talking about bookkeeping. So here's some questions I get a lot. What is a bookkeeper and the difference between a bookkeeper and a cash flow management person? What is their role? Why do I need a bookkeeper? Should I be doing my own bookkeeping? And should I be having a bookkeeper if I'm going to implement Profit for Keeps? Well, here's the thing. Let's start with the basics. What does a bookkeeper do in a business? The role of a bookkeeper is to make sure that every single expense and every single income is recorded in an accounting software that allows your tax accountant to see exactly how much you owe in taxes. The bookkeeper's role is looking backwards. It's making sure all of your historical data is in proper categories, and it's essential to have a bookkeeper in your business, in my opinion. The thing is, there are many people who wait far too long to hire a bookkeeper, and they end up really spending tons of time working on their taxes at the end of the year. You know, looking for receipts, looking for expenses, looking at all the different income from Stripe and all the various different places. And this actually happened to me as well. I had been in business for about 3 years, and it was that year that I had spent close to 16 hours on my taxes using YNAB, by the way. Like, I was taking all the information from YNAB. It was totally doable. And I realized there's so many better uses of my time at this point in my business. I need to stop doing this. And even though I knew exactly how to do bookkeeping and I knew how to manage the software perfectly fine, I knew that spending any additional time on this just didn't make sense for me. And there are people who love to do bookkeeping. So make sure that when you have a bookkeeper, you're doing it because you want it done right. You want things allocated properly. You want things reported properly. And it's going to be reported from a looking backwards mentality. And that's fine, because that's what taxes do, right? Several months after year end is when you actually pay most of your taxes for the previous year. And the problem with this is, because it's looking so far backwards, it's not really giving a lot of time and space for that particular role to help you look forwards. So a lot of times people will come to me and say, oh my gosh, okay, I am so frustrated with my bookkeeper because she did not help me figure out how much money I needed to make sure I had enough money for taxes. I have this huge tax bill. I'm freaking out because I don't have that much money in my bank account. I'm making really good money, but I feel like she really let me down. And I hate to break this to you, but it's so important that you understand this. Your bookkeeper most likely was doing exactly what he or she was meant to be doing, which was simply focusing on the transactions in your bank account and reporting them properly in an accounting software such as QuickBooks or Xero. So why do I feel so strongly about discouraging you from using a bookkeeper for preparing for taxes, for preparing for cash flow management? The thing is, you, my friend, are the visionary. You know better than anyone what you want to be using your money for, and you care more than anyone else about your business, about the success of your business. And I can guarantee that when you have a very clear grasp and understanding of where your money is going and exactly what it's prioritized for, you will leap and bound forward in terms of really being able to see the clarity it will give you on making strategic decisions. So the other thing is, I always say, like, if you really love to do the bookkeeping, perhaps you're in the wrong business. Maybe open a bookkeeping firm. I mean, there are definitely people who love it, and more power to you. I love that there are bookkeepers that love bookkeeping. Otherwise, I'd be having to do it myself, as would all of us. So here are some main things that I do want you to think about when you're looking into getting a bookkeeper. Remember, this is different than cash flow management. I am teaching you and empowering you to become your own cash flow management advisor. So when you're looking at a bookkeeper, I want you to focus on these key things that most people are not necessarily asking about, and I think it is a detriment to you and your business. So here we go. First thing, ask them if they keep track of all receipts. A lot of times bookkeepers find this to be a tedious task, and they don't necessarily do this. Now, I used to manage audits before going into into various different areas of finance before leaving and starting my own business. And because I had 8 years of audit experience, I got to be pretty aware of how the IRS works and exactly what they look for. And I can guarantee you that there are a lot of bookkeepers out there that are not keeping track of receipts, that if you were ever audited, you're going to really have a hard time passing that audit because of the fact that there's a lack of receipts. So making sure that they're actually following up with you or your assistant. My assistant works with my bookkeeper on a weekly basis to make sure that all receipts are there. The other thing is making sure they do a monthly reconcile. This helps you tremendously at the end of the year with taxes, because instead of them having to catch up months and months of bookkeeping, they're only having to do 1 month like any other month. It may take them a little bit longer because it's year end, but it shouldn't take them too much longer if they've been keeping up consistently with reconciling your books once a month. The other thing you want to look for in a bookkeeper is, are they responsive? Are they getting back to you in a reasonable amount of time? You want to make sure that things don't get left behind, because with bookkeeping, it's really easy to kind of have things fall back because it's not absolutely necessary to have everything in place until year end, because that's when taxes are due and that's when they need all the information. So having someone responsive also shows that they're keeping on top of things and keeping on top of their work. The other thing that's really important is making sure that she or he is willing to reach out when they don't understand something about either where to put an expense if it's a new expense, or if they just aren't really sure how to handle the transaction. Now, most bookkeepers are not CPAs, so they aren't an expert in exactly where to legally categorize certain things, and making sure that you have a bookkeeper that understands when to ask for help and raise their hand is such a beautiful asset. The other thing is, look for someone who's willing to communicate with your tax accountant. This can save you so much time as a business owner when you can basically say, can you guys talk about it amongst yourselves and then let me know what I need to know in order to make the decision. So here's what I'd love for you to comment below. Let us know what your personal experience has been with bookkeeping. I'd love to hear it. If you have a bookkeeper that you absolutely love that does all of these things, please also list them. Give them a shout out. We're always looking for really good bookkeepers to refer to our clients as well. Did you like this video? Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified when future video tips are published. Become cash flow savvy by joining our Sweet Life Purposeful Money community by visiting amberduggar.com/community. This is where we help you become a truly profitable and sustainable online business. Until the next video, remember, money is simply a resource, and making peace with money allows you to pursue the things you enjoy with freedom. Much love to you.